Hey, this is Nat, and we're off our couch in Atlanta, Georgia, at the Atlanta Botanical Garden. The Atlanta Botanical Garden is 30 acres of annual displays, rare tropical and desert plants, towering trees, beautiful flowers, and more. And in this video, we'll walk as much of the garden as time allows to provide an idea of what you can expect to see on a visit. I'll provide some information on how the garden changes throughout the year. We'll talk discounts, and we'll first start with parking, which is often the case when visiting Atlanta attractions. The parking garage is card only, and the first 30 minutes are free, and I will include the website link in the description box for the parking prices and details. Let's talk discounts now. There is a military discount, and of course there are membership options, which we are signing up for now. Membership provides unlimited admission to both Atlanta Botanical Gardens and Gainesville Gardens, and the membership offers reciprocal privileges to more than 345 gardens, arboreta, and conservatories, which we plan to take advantage of all throughout this year and the first of next year. So if you've yet to subscribe please. Keep getting off the couch with us, because as you can see, we're obviously going to be exploring a lot more gardens in upcoming videos, plus more of Atlanta too. And if there is a garden that you recommend, definitely let us know in the comments. So let's get started right here at this garden now, the Atlanta Botanical Garden, seeing as much as we can see. This is a very large garden, so we are not going to see it all, unfortunately. But we can start our walk around the gardens either out the front of the entrance, or we can start from upstairs, which is where the restrooms are, by the way. If you do start your walk from the upstairs, you'll be promptly greeted by our frog friend here. This frog just seems so wise to me for some reason. If not wise, definitely sophisticated. I just had to sit down, receive some words of advice, valuable life lessons, and take a picture for our monthly newsletter. Yes, we do have a monthly newsletter, and this will be our cover picture for our April newsletter. Me trying to receive inspiration from a frog, and London trying to figure out why am I talking to a frog. The source of the inspiration does not matter though, because each newsletter, the aim is to pass on the travel inspiration, travel tips, and cities that we think are worthy of a visit on to you all, our fellow travelers. The sign up link for our newsletter is on our website, offourcouch.com, and it is also in the description box. Okay, so let's get started again walking in the gardens. We're just following the path now, which is going to take us to the Canopy Walk. The Canopy Walk is a 600-foot long suspension walkway that winds through stores of woods and urban forests. The walkway can take us up to 40 feet in the air, which means we get some really fantastic, really cool views looking down below. Plus, we get the view of the trees walking through this forest. It is such a lovely day for a walk too, and with access to all of these views, you can get a preview of some of the gardens as well. Right now, I can see something really interesting, so let's go over there and take a look. This is an overlook at the garden, the channel overlook. There are quite a few overlooks here at the Atlanta Botanical Gardens. Okay, so let's continue to walk. We're going to go ahead and head to the Cascade Gardens next. I see pictures all of the time of this garden. This is the home of the Earth Goddess, a 25-foot sculpture covered in 18,000 annuals. Oh no, well, it looks like we caught the Earth Goddess without her makeup. Now, this is a picture that I pulled from the Atlanta Botanical Gardens website of what we were expecting to see. So what's happening here, the Earth Goddess is out of season. The Earth Goddess is expected to be back mid to late May. Right now, it is March. It's early March. If seeing the Earth Goddess is a must for your visit, be sure to check the website prior to your visit. It's great we have a membership, because I would love to come back and see the Earth Goddess in all of her glory. And we do have plans to return to Atlanta in May, which is perfect timing. I did read when she is in season, she is constantly evolving. It takes several weeks for the growth to show color, so the goddess will not always look the same. And she is constantly being maintained, staying primed by the horticulture team. Okay, so we're back to walking, and the area that we have just walked into has food options. Longleaf offers full-service dining and a grab-and-go cafe. This garden can be a full-day outing, so this may definitely be a stop during your day while you are enjoying the garden. Speaking of enjoying the garden, let's walk through this fascinating gate and take a look now at the Japanese garden. Kids just startled me from gazing at the Japanese garden to tell me about these flowers. They say they smell like popcorn, and they do. Buttery and beautiful. You can't beat that. So here is another overlook, the Alston Overlook. Let's enjoy. Back to walking again. Some of us are hopping and skipping actually, and on our way to the children's garden. I have a confession to make. I love children's gardens. They are actually my favorite garden within any botanical garden, and it has not a single solitary thing to do with my kids. I personally love them. If I did not have kids, I would still meander over to the children's garden. The children's garden here invites us to touch. Yes, thank you. We most definitely will. And even though this is a children's garden, it still portrays the elegance and classiness of a formal garden. Look how fun the bathrooms are too. These are photo ops. Well, we use them as photo ops right outside the bathroom. And then after taking some fun photos, right back to the beauty and serenity of this garden. I would say though that this garden does have more fun going on than elegance and serenity, as it should. It is a children's garden after all. Yet it does have a good balance still between the two, if that makes sense. Well, that's my opinion on it. Let's take a look around and then let us know what you think. Interrupt your quiet time for this drum solo. This is one of the reasons why I love children's gardens. All of the senses get to be involved. So we can keep marching to London's drum solo and continue to look around now. See the frogs? Yeah, they're all over the garden here. In addition to a slide and a treehouse, during the warmer months, like I said, it's just early March right now, there is also a splash pad that's open during the warmer months and a glass case displaying honeybees busy making honey. Thank goodness we have that membership again and plans to return. I would love to see the bees at work. So we have moved past the children's garden and we are now on the Anne Cox Chambers Flower Walk. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And this time, right now, spring, it is a great time to enjoy this walk with a multitude of tulips. So let's do that. It's just so beautiful. The flower walk leads us also to the Skyline Garden. This garden provides a view of Piedmont Park, which contains nearly 200 acres of green space, walking and biking trails, a splash pad, playgrounds, and dog parks, which we plan to take a more personal look at on our next trip to Atlanta. From the gardens, you can also gaze at the Midtown Atlanta skyline. And from here, you can see the beginnings of Alice's Wonderland. There are going to be 7 installations of 22 of the pieces returning. journey. This originally debuted in 2019, returned in 2022, and is now back for another tour. And if I'm reading and understanding correctly, the installations are going to be spread throughout the garden, which is going to be a sight to see. I would love to see the gardens with Alice and her friends. So I imagine it's already apparent how big this botanical garden is. But let me reiterate, this garden is so big and diverse that they even have indoor gardens. Right now we're walking through the Fuqua Orchid Center, which houses one of the largest orchid collections at any public garden in the world. This massive collection is divided between two climate zones, the tropical high elevation house and the orchid display house. Speaking of large and massive, I just learned that in addition to orchids being one of the oldest family of flowering plants, they are also the largest family of flowering plants. Scientists are already aware of over 25,000 species of wild orchids, and still hundreds of new species are discovered each year. Now that is a Did You Know fact. Every Monday on Instagram we share a Did You Know fact, an interesting fact that we pick up during our travels and adventures. So if you enjoy interesting tidbits like that, join us on Instagram if you've yet to do so. Another fact I find incredibly interesting about orchids is that orchids are bilaterally symmetrical, which means they can be divided by a single plane into two equal parts, kind of like humans. Well, we may be indoors, but it's still raining on us. My kids love this. I admit it is pretty cool. In this area, the appearance of this area does change. Orchid Days is going on currently. It is an annual celebration here at Atlanta Botanical Gardens, and it's happening February 14th through April 14th of this year, 2024. Orchid Days includes collages and mixed media works by artist Lillian Blaze. It's just so beautiful in here. It's a place you could stay all day, but we definitely want to walk through the tropical Rotunda before we run out of time. The tropical Rotunda is home to plants from tropical regions around the world, like Central America's lowland forests, Central Africa, Southern Mexico, and Southeast Asia. So there is variety from all around the globe in here. Something else I found really fascinating. Although these tropical regions only account for 10% of Earth's surface, more than half of the plant and animal species in the world call these areas home. Adding to the fact that this is such a lush area and many of the trees in here are incredibly tall, there are birds in here as well as frogs and an alligator snapping turtle. So while walking through this rotunda, sometimes you forget you're inside and not outside. Also in the conservatory is the Orangerie. The Orangerie is like a greenhouse, except historically it is where fruit trees are protected during the winter and grown. Within this Orangerie, economically important plants are grown like the black pepper. I did a Did You Know fact on Instagram about the black pepper not too long ago. It is actually the most widely traded spice in the world. And how cool is this? I love a wall like this in my house. We do have one last section we're going to check out before we leave. We are running short on time now. And believe it or not, the last section has nothing to do with plants. The Atlanta Botanical Garden within the conservatory has amphibians on display. Some are brightly colored, some are rare or endangered, and some are poisonous. The one trait I would say they all have in common is that they all are extremely good at staying hidden. I can never find them. London and my son are experts at outmaneuvering. That's not the word I'm looking for though. Deciphering. Yeah, that's it. Deciphering their camouflage. The conservatory houses frogs from many countries, such as Panama, Colombia, and Ecuador. And every Saturday morning, they offer amphibian feedings at 10 a.m. plus a Q&A session. On our way out, we must stop at the gift shop. This is a course where you buy your souvenirs and garden-related merchandise. And talking discounts again, if you do purchase that membership, of course you're going to get your discount on your gift shop purchases. And here in the gift shop, you can purchase multi-visit parking passes at a deeply discounted rate. So that is our day here at the Atlanta Botanical Garden, and what a day it has been. We all loved it. Both my kids really enjoyed it from start to finish. We saw so much. At the same time, I feel there's a lot we didn't see. I would really love to see the children's garden with all its features operating during the summer. I love to see the Earth Goddess, of course. definitely want to see the Alice in Wonderland exhibit. They even have Alice in Wonderland themed drinks, which of course we would love to try that. We would love to return in the summer when the different events are happening at the garden, and I think it'd be cool to compare and contrast the looks of the garden. Of course, I want to hear what you all think. What did you think of the gardens? Did you have a favorite part from the garden that we had the chance to visit? When is normally your favorite time to visit gardens? As I said before, it is early March right now, so it's a lovely time to walk outside amongst the flowers. Of course, it'll be hotter in the summer when we return, but let us know your thoughts. And if you found this video helpful, please hit the thumbs up button. Let us know. If you've already visited the Atlanta Botanical Garden, we'd love to hear that as well. Thanks so much for hanging out with us here in Atlanta for these past few videos. Why don't you guys return back to Florida with us, please? Next video, each and every Saturday, a new adventure comes out, and we are heading back to Florida to St. Augustine, which is often referred to as the nation's oldest city. We are not there, though, to talk about their over 450 years of history that the city has readily available to explore. Instead, we'll actually be discussing the kid-friendly side of St. Augustine as we talk about enjoying the historical city with kids. These are some more of our tips. This is a follow-up to our first St. Augustine with Kids video, so we'll be discussing even more ways to enjoy this historically rich city with kids. So join us off the couch, please. Subscribe, please, if you've yet to do so. We will see you all again soon in Florida. First, though, we have to say thank you for joining us here in Atlanta at the Atlanta Botanical Garden. Thank you for all of the feedback, the likes, shares, and comments. Your support is what makes these weekly adventures possible, so thank you. Until next week, click on the video to see another one of our experiences. Thanks for watching.